Well, I'd like to welcome everyone to the show tonight. And if I haven't greeted you yet, so in these greetings, assalamu alaikum, shalom. Also, if I haven't greeted you into the new year yet, happy new year. This year brings you what you have. If you're in search of that which was lost, definitely keep on that hunt. So, I'm going to get right into it tonight. Hope everybody is doing well and you watched the football game. Brother Terrell, good evening to you. I'm hoping that your team won. I mean, the Chargers are no longer in San Diego, so it is what it is. But hey, they beat Baltimore, so I'm taking that. I'm taking that. So I'd like to say greetings to everyone that's coming on. And tonight we're going to talk about the philosophy degrees. We're going to talk about the Royal Arch degree tonight, and what it is to be a Royal Arch Mason, and how does that continues with that of the Master Mason degree. Because a lot of us who are Masons, we often wonder, should I go York Rite or Scottish Rite first? That question is asked a lot amongst those who have been raised to the sublime degree of a Master Mason. They usually ask that question, which way should they go first? Should they go York Rite? Should they go Scottish Rite? Where should they go? And my honest opinion is this: I believe that an individual who has been initiated, passed, and raised to the sublime degree of a Master Mason, I would suggest that you go York Rite first. The reason I say that is because the York Rite degree, which I'm just saying Royal Arch, excellent master. You have the most excellent master. No, is it super excellent master? No, mark master, past master, most excellent master, Royal Arch. Whew, super excellent. Excellent master. Let's just say excellent master. Super excellent came in my head. But anyway, so you have those degrees that you have to go through before you even get into the Royal Arch degree. So my suggestion to you, if you are looking and if you are in the degree work right now, that would be my personal response if you was looking to go into the appending bodies of Freemasonry. The Royal Arch would be your next step. And that would be to cap off that of the Master Mason degree, because long ago the Royal Arch degree was a part of the Master Mason degree. This is why it took so long for individuals to become a Master Masons. Greetings, Brother Jackson. Is because they were, you had to go through this long drawn process. Uh, Excellent in the council. Oh, okay, York, right? Okay, yeah. So it was long and drawn out. So even though you had been initiated, passed, and raised, your degree work wasn't complete until you completed it in the Royal Arch. But now we find that the Royal Arch degree itself and those other pending degrees that work with inside of the Royal Arch degree, we find those working up under a Supreme Council now. Those degrees are chapters located within the Supreme Council framework. Whereas once upon a time, those degrees was that of a Master Mason. So it wasn't until the York and the ancients came together, or the moderates and the ancient came together, and then they formulated, or they came to an agreement that the Royal Arch part would be under the Supreme Council body. So you have to wait. Does pledging in college benefit you when joining a craft? Man, that's interesting. I would say that pledging in college is cool. I enjoyed it when I did it. I had fun, but I would say that nah, pledging in college and becoming a Mason is different. It's different, bro. It's a different monster. When you become a Mason, you're supposed to be amongst men. And I'm not saying that when you're in college that you're a boy. I'm just saying that the things you see when you're in Masonry is different from that what you see when you're pledging. Now, I will say this about pledging because I did it for 6 weeks. It's interesting. I enjoyed it. Would I do it again? Nope. Would I join the Masonic order again? Yep. That's the difference. And when I came through as far as pledging in college, it was a different beast. We talking in the 80s. It was just a different monster. Now they don't do I don't imagine they do a lot of stuff that they used to do, but I'm quite sure they still do some, but not as it was. So to answer that question, nah. Being a Mason is a different monster. It's just a different monster. But back into the Royal Arch degree. So when you begin your journey and you see that now you have completed the degree work as far as the Master Mason is concerned, as I've said before, go into the Royal Arch. The Royal Arch is going to cap that Master Mason degree off. It's going to help you to understand everything that you went through, because it is a step and a level. It is a step and a level. And I say it's a step and a level because you got to remember, as you begin your journey as an enter apprentice, you're on the ground floor, you're on the porch of King Solomon's temple. And then as you enter into the first floor work of the temple, then you would go up in what we call the winding stairs, okay? Once you enter up on the winding stairs, there you would go from there into the holies of holies, and from there it would cap off for me, and I'm trying to get you to see it would cap that off, because there you would find the Ark of the Covenant, right? You will find the Ark of the Covenant. And within the Ark of the Covenant, you will find certain things that was left by Moses. And this gives you a better understanding of the temples and when they built them and why they built them. And then you go into the priest who has a plate on his chest, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Each has its own, that most priests, they have the bells around their waist. This is to say that when you walked around and you had the incense and you were swinging them, when the Pope comes in, the priests come in before the Pope come in. They come in with the incense and they swinging them, right? This is the purification part. So as he goes in, he goes in before God, then he's going to know if he's pure in heart, right? He's going to know if he's pure in heart, because he's going in a sinless man, because they usually sacrifice an animal before the priest goes into the temple. Once again, in the Old Testament, I'm just speaking on the Royal Arch side, that the concept is before the priest goes into the temple, they usually have to make that sacrifice, cleanse him of his sins through the sacrifice. Then he goes into the tent, right? When he goes into the incense and he's swinging the incense, has a plate on his chest which represents the 12 tribes of Israel. As he's in this tent, he walks around the ark, and as he walks around it, he's chanting a prayer. Now, in the process of doing this is in the Bible, so you can go look this up for yourself. But in the process of doing this, if he was with sin, he'll drop dead. Boom. And then they have a rope around him, and they would just drag him on out. Drag him on out. So that's how they knew. So in the Royal Arch degree, that's good. So in the Royal Arch degree, this is where you get to. And then you have then you have the degree before you get there of the Mark Master, Past Master, Most Excellent Master, and then the Royal Arch degree. Now, the Royal Arch degree, I would say is to me is a great degree, only because it gives me a better example of the temple and why they built the temple. Because if you are a Master Mason, you know that the first and second temple was destroyed, and then there was another temple built. If you know anything about Old Testament, there. And Palestinians were so upset when they moved the capital to Jerusalem. They was pissed. Hey, if you are a Royal Arch Mason, you really get down to your Royal Arch degree, you will find that they was really upset. Why they was upset that the capital was moved. And then you have an understanding why the Palestinians today are so pissed off that the Trump would move the capital. Yeah, he moved it. Man, my wife made this. It's good. So this is where we at. And then as you get into the Royal Arch degree. He's so true. Oh yeah. So as you get into that Royal Arch degree, you're gonna find some other stuff that's happening there within that degree, and it's beautiful. I'm just saying that the dress, we have the triple tie, right? The triple tie, you know, 3 times 3 on the 11 on the 11 arc. So if you are in St. Louis, look at that arc. Look and see who built that arc. That's all I'm going to say. If you're living in St. Louis, or even just you're curious about the ark that's built in St. Louis, you know, the one that goes over the Mississippi River, you need to find out why did they build that over the Mississippi River. That was a to it was a reason why they did it, and you need to like check that out, especially if you're into masonry, and see about the fact that they have a um a keystone. There's a keystone in the center of that arc. There's a keystone. And if you are in the dependent bodies on the York right side, you know that you should be carrying your keystone. You know, you should, and if you don't have one, you should know what it means, the keystone, you know. And if you ever look at the movie, what's the name of the movie? King, something about a king. It's an old movie. Can't even think of it. It's with Sean Connery and what's this guy? I can't even think of his name. The Man Who Would Be King. The Man Who Would Be King. Check that movie out. And it goes into detail, and it even goes into the Royal Arch, man. It's a deep movie. And I like the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. The Man Who Would Be King. Check that movie out. It goes in depth about Freemasonry. It goes in depth in regards to a brother who's in need. You know, I'm just saying, you know, a lot of things that are called hidden in plain sight, you know, only if you are aware of what you're looking at that you will recognize it. And it is. I mean, I did a video and I named like 20, 35 movies that had nothing but Masonic stuff in it, just Masonic stuff. But because some of us don't pay attention to what movies are telling us, then you know we go for the blowing up and all of that stuff. But I'm just saying it gets deep when you're into it like that. Um, the past master degree, okay, the past master degree teaches the candidate the importance, duties, and responsibility to the Oriental chair. So if you are a Royal Arch Mason, you must have received that past master degree also. It's what you call a virtual past master, okay, a virtual past master. And this degree here, it teaches you the responsibility of the chair, okay. It teaches you the responsibility of the chair. Excuse me. But because a lot of us probably will never be wishful masters, past masters really can give you a better understanding of what's going on with that wishful master in that chair and how it should be respected at all times. Now, we don't always agree with the wishful master or what he's saying, but respect the position. That's with anyone, including your grandmaster. You may not agree with your grandmaster, but respect the office of the grandmaster. You know, even with Trump myself, and I'm quite sure probably many of you don't agree with Trump, but the office of the president of the United States should be respected. You know, you may not have to respect him, but the office should be respected. Even if he doesn't respect the office. Oh my God. And we have some grandmasters like that, but that's, you know, but that's all right. But back to the Royal Arch degree. So even in the Royal Arch degree, which is considered a chapter, operating under the jurisdiction of a grand chapter, but most councils call them Supreme Grand Chapter of the Royal Arch. That's what they call it. Okay, most Supreme Councils call it the Supreme Grand Chapter of the Royal Arch. And if you have a chapter in your state, it works up under that body because they're the only someone that can issue a charter to you as a Royal Arch Mason. So your tabernacle, as it is called, works up under a supreme council, which issues you that charter. That's the only way you get it. Now, once upon a time, it wasn't that way, but now that is the subscribed formation for the Royal Archmason. What is a supreme? What is a supreme chapter? Well, a supreme chapter in some of the councils or some of the United Supreme Councils have what they call a supreme chapter of Royal Archmason. It is over all Royal Arch chapters, and it issues charters. It's just like a Grand Lodge, in a sense. A Grand Lodge only issues charters to the lodges that operate under it. Well, a Supreme Grand Chapter of Royal Lodge, or a general, what they call it, general chapter of Royal Arch Masons, they issue charters to tabernacles or temples. Brother Walker, what is a charter? A give permission to it or to function as a chapter of Royal Arch Masons. So let's say, for instance, you are like, I'm part of Grace Tabernacle number 4 here in San Diego. Our charter comes from the Council of Royal Arch Masons. Some people call them, like I said, the Supreme Chapter of Royal Arch Masons. Some call it the Council of Royal Arch Masons. However you want to use the word, they're interchangeable. That's where the charter comes from. It gives us permission to operate as Royal Arch Masons. We have been initiated into the Royal Arch Masons. It is the capsize, or it is the capstone for your Master Mason degree. Okay, that's where the charter comes from, and that's who gives it. I've been traveling for 8 years. Can't wait to put a roof on my building by completing the Royal Arch degree. Doing it the right way. Well, that's great. I mean, the Royal Arch degree, man, is special. If it's done right, and you're going to cross Jordan River. Hear what I say? You're going to cross Jordan River. You know, you're going to go through the tabernacle. There's some things that's going to be interesting happening in that degree work, and I like it. It's enjoyable. You know, it's definitely, you'll survive it. You'll survive it. If you survive your Master Mason degree, you'll survive this. Now, I will tell you this. Everybody adds to, they add a little flavor to the degree work. I mean, I've seen where people have added a little flavor to the degree work, which is good. It makes it a little bit more exciting. It gives you that impression. I never forget it. Put it like that. And then there are some places you go and watch the degree work, and you be like, it doesn't do that for you. Some places you go and see the degree, and some places you see the degree work, you be like, oh my God, you're all excited, you're all in it. It just depends on where you're at. I mean, a Royal Arch degree, yeah, I was a little scared at first, I ain't gonna lie. All them old heads, and they talking all that smack, and here I am about to do this thing along with brother Austin Montgomery was his name. He and I that was about to do this work, and it was good. It was good work. I enjoyed it. It's better when it's more, but you do what you do. And that degree work, once you get involved with it, you can understand more of the Palestinians and why they are so pissed. Trust me on that. This thing is deep. If you really get into it, I mean, the Royal Arch degree work, along with the Mark Master, Past Master, and the Most Excellent Master, all of that degree work, it can kind of tell you why the Palestinians are so pissed. Really, it tells you about it even breaks down the tabernacle and the temples and how they was destroyed and why they was destroyed. So if you get into the Royal Arch degree, please pick up your Bible and read it. Please do that. Gives you a whole nother perspective of why people are, pissed off over there. It does, and it gives you a whole nother perspective about sacrifices. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about sacrifices, because there are sacrifices. not in the literal term, but in allegories during the time of the Royal Arch, during the time of the building of the temples. There was a lot of sacrifices going on. That's right. Trust that. You can go read it for yourself in the Old Testament, and you can find out about the sacrifices. So don't be afraid. Because when you're in the degree work, when you are really into the degree work, some of it is going to be shaking your head moment. That's truth. You can say whatever you want to say. When you are in the degree work, some of that degree work is going to be the shaking of the head moment where you be like, When you study degree work, yes, you're going to have the shaking of the head moment. And somebody in your jurisdiction, somebody around you should be there to explain it. Because if they're not, you're going to leave Masonry. That's true. If somebody is not there to explain this degree work to you, be it on the York Rite or Scottish Rite side, but tonight we're talking about the Royal Arch degree work, you probably end up leaving Masonry. And this is why a lot of times I think that those who leave Masonry come back and say, they sacrifice, because you've been reading stuff and nobody was there to explain it to you, so you went down the rabbit hole. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Please don't do that to yourself. That's the worst thing a brother or a sister can do to themselves, is go down a rabbit hole. That's not wise. That's not a good thing. Not at all. I would tell any Mason, once you have gone through your degree work, do get books, do read, but whatever you do, make sure you got people around you that can explain stuff to you, because once you start this rabbit hole journey, it may be tough for you to come back. Oh, you have? Oh, wow, what a name. Okay, Eastern Tabernacle. Yeah, I see it there. Yeah, I've always gone down a rabbit hole, brother. Everybody can't go down that rabbit hole, man. Some people go down and they don't come back up. This is why they leave the organization. That's true. Some people who go down the rabbit hole cannot come back up. And they find themselves leaving the organization because nobody is there to what they have just read, or may even just experience within a degree work. That's what I found. Now, I could be wrong. All the work in Masonry should be committed to memory, but not all the legitimacy requirements, if that is what you were referring to. Yes and no. I say yes, you're right as far as referring to memory. You should. And I was really referring to the fact that when you work, and even if you refer to memory about it, someone else should be there to explain to you exactly what's taking place, because if you get too deep into it, some people just can't deal with it, they can't. If you have a Scottish Rite Volume 1 and 2 and you read the footnotes, it would make you rethink some of the stuff. And even though you have taken these obligations, go back and read your obligations, see what you said. Really and sincerely, to any craft. And go back and read your obligation and see exactly what you said, and you will be amazed. You may rethink that. Are you seriously going to consider and to do? Really? I'm just saying. How many of us can really put down their obligation and really hold steadfast? Yeah. If a brother come to me, I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna hold what he tells me right here in my chest. How many of us can do that? I don't know. Religion sometimes make me feel ill as a whole. Oh well, it can do that. Religion can do that. I go to church. I enjoy the festivities. I go to the mosque. I enjoy it. But I would tell anybody, when you're doing both of those things like I do, please be aware. Just have an understanding of what's actually happening around you when you do that, because everybody can't go to the church and then leave church and go to the mosque. See, I'm not mad at the messengers. I'm not. Or the one who brings the message. I'm not. I'm there for the message. Period. You know? So my wife fixed this for me. It has some type of leaf in it. It also has blackberries and raspberry in it. And she said it was like a power drink or something, it's energy drink, I was like, oh, I likes that. You add a little flavor, you can go and add a little flavor, your own favorite flavor to that. Yeah, it becomes energy. I'm just saying. My auntie has a Scottish constitution, but not talk, just linen through their marriage. That's interesting. Oh, definitely a faithful heart, bruh. But how many of us really have that faithful heart when we go back and read what we said in these degrees that we take these particular obligations in? How many of us can go back and say, well, dang, I said this and I said that, and here I am, excuse me. And here I am. It's like, you like have this wow moment. You're like, man, did I just say that? Yeah, you just said it. Now, can you stand the rain? Can you stand it? That's the question a lot of us have to ask ourselves. So even in the Royal Lodge degree, completion of the whole system of Freemasonry, having begun regularly lodges, it is the duty of each routine lodge to in advance through the rites until he has received the climax of the degree, speaking, as taught in the Royal Lodge. Only those who are may be said to have completed their Master Mason degree. Only those who have completed the Royal Lodge may have been Mason degree work. This is why so even Mason, because I think somewhere it says how long did they work? I think like 7 years or something like that, maybe even more. Oh, that's coming. Okay, as you are, how personal apply the 24-inch gauge? Why have you, let me see, will you ever do a video on it? The 24-inch gauge? Yeah, I can do a video on a 24-inch gauge. I can, but even with the 24-inch gauge, how I don't want. I want to stick to the topic now. I know I don't want to get off. I don't want to get off topic because I can get off topic, bro. You ask that question, I'm ready to go in. Nope. I'll wait and I will do something on gauge. But the 24-inch gauge is special. If you understand it, it's special. So you tell me what you know about the 24-inch gauge. I don't even know if you're a match that I should find out if you are worthy and well qualified. Talking about the 24-inch gauge. All right. The rabbit hole is not fair. No, the rabbit hole. Brother House, welcome back. No, the rabbit hole is not for everybody. Man, that thing will suck you up and you'll be, like I said, this is why a lot of people quit masonry, because they find themselves traveling down this thing we call the rabbit hole. And I will tell you this, within the rabbit hole, there are many doors. There are many doors within the rabbit hole. It's totally true. If you can remember the movie Matrix, when Neo went and he opened the door, right? He found that there was many doors, but every door he went into educated him about something taking place. Every door. Some doors he shouldn't have went in, and some doors some great knowledge. And so as in masonry, I would say that. I would definitely say that. Or was he duly and truly prepared? Yeah, because I don't know that brother who was asking that question about that 24-inch gauge. I don't mind answering it, but I would have to say that I have to be cautious too at all times. Now, I do say some things, and some people pull my coattail and they'll tell me, hey, you spoke a little too much about certain things, and I appreciate that. That I believe in this particular setting that I should be cautious about explaining and breaking down certain things within Masonry. But I would tell you this, in every degree in Masonry, especially on the York Rite side, you're going to have some instruments to work with. You're going to have some working tools. Every degree has working tools on the on the York Rite side. All of them have working tools. So you might as well get ready for it. King Solomon. Oh, okay. King Solomon Lodge. What's up, King Solomon Lodge? Number 514 AF and AM. Most wishful St. Joseph Grand Lodge of Texas. Welcome aboard. Oh, St. Joseph. Hey, when you see Brother Christopher Taft, tell him I said, what's up? That's my boy. Oh, yeah, that's my guy right there. People think I'm wicked. Why would people think you're wicked, brother? You know, why would people want to think you're wicked unless you're doing some wicked things? Come on now. You know, 24-inch gauge is supposed to lay the work. Nah, nope. You need to go back and, Brother Terrell, the 24-inch gauge is supposed to lay the work. You think so? We're going to have a conversation after this after this video right here, this show right here, Brother Terrell. Yeah, okay, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Masonic Q. Are you a QQ? Masonic Q? Are you like a Q dog Q? Or you just a Masonic Q? 357. All right, I'm just saying. Oh, okay. Use your time wisely. Oh, yeah. We all should use our time wisely. We should. If you don't, then you're going to be in bad shape. I would say that to anybody. Definitely use your time wisely. But in the process, like I said before, every degree has working tools. The ideal is how do you apply those working tools? And if you're a Master Mason, you should know that you have working tools that you probably don't even think about. I know we talk about the trowel a lot of times, but even beyond the 8 other emblems that puts you in that whole conundrum, you know, that whole thing. How many of us go back and look at the emblems that we have as a Master Mason and apply those? How many of us, even though we may talk about the common gavel, the level, the square, we talk about all of those things, but how many of us actually go back and take a peek at those emblems, them 8 emblems, I think it's 8 emblems of yeah, those 8 emblems as a Master Mason, and try to apply those, because you know there's one that has a coffin there. Yeah, you know that one too, you know, that emblem, you know. So when you go and you begin to apply this stuff in life, you will find yourself on a journey that a lot of people don't want to go on. And Brother House, I know you're well spoken and a diverse person. If you want to correct me, I'm okay with you. I can work with you, Brother House. But I'm just saying, a lot of people get on this journey and they can't complete it. It gets too deep for them. You know, it goes beyond those boundaries that you think are out there. Freemasonry doesn't have it. You know. Okay, got it. He may not have one. Yes, sir. 2000. All right. I'm trying to catch up as we go on. You know. Greetings, 1120 sound. Welcome aboard tonight's show. Tonight's show is about the Royal Arch degree, and we was talking about the Mark Master, the Past Master, virtual Past Master, most excellent and Royal Arch. You know, so we're just getting into it just a little bit, just to formulate what it is on their York Rite side, because a lot of people, and I would say this, if the brothers of the craft who are practicing Judaism or maybe consider themselves Jews, they don't usually go York Rite. They don't. Now, if somebody knows something differently, let me know. But from my own personal experience and talking to some of them, they chose not to go that route. They will not go Royal Arch. Ask me how I know, and I'll tell you so. You know, and I was curious as to why And because on the York Rite side, it gets real deep into religion, you know, be it Old and be it New Testament, it gets deep. And from what I understand, those who are of Judaism do not too much participate in the New Testament. And in the Royal Arch degree and the other degrees that go along, it begins to lead you into the New Testament. And it's like a no, 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 no. And that's real. No, we as Jewish men do not. But hey, but Brother House, a lot of brothers don't know that though. They don't know it. Yes, we are taught to occupy our mind with useful knowledge. That is so true. But how many of us actually apply that, Brother Shaheed? You know, we go back and forth on a whole lot of things, but how many of us actually go back and occupy our minds with useful knowledge so we be able to apply that knowledge and then reflect upon that knowledge when we become of age? You know, it's just like running the streets. You know, when you're young, you run the streets, you know, boom, 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 boom. You're running, you're hanging out with the boys, you're doing your thing, boom, 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 boom. Then when you graduate high school and you go into college, you be like, well, you know, you kind of settle a little bit, but now you want to get into the pledging thing. Now you're pledging, you know, you with your boys, you're doing things you wouldn't necessarily normally do when you pledge. But once you get through with that phase, then your next step would be Masonry, because you know, you're a man now. You want to reflect, and you're a man now. So you want to step into manhood. That's what that is the thing I believe that Masonry does for a lot of young men that come into Masonry at a young age. It catapults you. It moves you up in stages to when you become of age, you can look back on your youth as a Mason and see the maturity. That's my own personal opinion. Pledging as in birds. No, 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 none of that. We talking about so-called Greek fraternities, and I say so-called only because it's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother world. I'm gonna take this down a little bit because I can't even blocking out the light and everything. There you go. That's a little bit better for me right there. Yep, a little bit better for me. So, as I was saying, I believe that when a young man comes into Masonry, as he mature into Freemasonry and occupies mind with knowledge why he is a Mason, then he can reflect when he becomes a master Mason and go into the pending bodies upon his time in Freemasonry, and he would be able to see that. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you there, Brother Green. I appreciate it. You know, blessings to you and your family. I appreciate it. The ideal is us who has made that journey. I've gone to York Rite side. Brother House, I did. I went York Rite. It was interesting. I mean, you know, once, because I'm gonna tell you this, even when you go York Rite, they have what they call Cypress or Krypton Masonry. I'm trying to think. What is the name? I want to say Cypress. I think it's Cypress. Cypress Masonry, I think. Can't think of the name of it. It's after the Royal Arch. Yeah, there you go, Brother Vincent. There you go. Cryptid. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Woo! It was all those Cypress. Yeah, Cryptid Masonry. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, and a lot of the councils don't practice that. If you are part of one of the General Grand Masonic Congresses, some of them don't practice that. Some of them don't. They just don't. I don't know why, but they don't practice it. You know, and then even in that degree, it's under a jurisdiction also of cryptid masonry. You know, in the various states, it operates that way too. Just like the Royal Arch issues charters, temples. That particular degree issue the benefits a master mason, in my opinion, to go that way. Now, Brother House said that was a no-no. There was a no-no for that, so I can respect that. Which Masonic body I enjoy the most between the York Rite and Scottish Rite? I actually enjoy the Scottish Rite a little bit more. It's more of a philosophy degree work. It really makes you think, in my own person. It has that military flavor to it too. The Scottish Rite has a military flavor. If you're interested in that, I would say go that way. But I also say, like I said in the beginning, to cap off everything, completed in the York Rite. I will complete the Royal Arch degree work, and then I will go over to the Scottish Rite and go from there on up. That's my own personal opinion. It just depends on the jurisdiction you're in and what they allow. Some jurisdiction go York Rite and Scottish Rite. Some jurisdiction only go Scottish Rite. Some only go York Rite. So you will have to find out in the body for which you are a part of, do they allow you to go both Scottish Rite and York Rite? And then you can go from there. For those that did a Greek frat first, we call it completing the circle. Oh, okay. Some of the founders of all black Greek fraternities were traveling men before founding their perspective. Yeah, that's true. Bruh, that is true. You're absolutely right. Most of the founders of black Greek fraternities were Freemasons. Period. Yeah, they were. They were. So, and I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but yeah. My old lodge was both York and Scottish Rite. Okay. Yeah, brother Shahid. Yeah. Your jurisdiction. Yeah. They did both Scottish Rite and York Rite. I'm enlightened every time I tune in. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother Green. Oh, that brother asked me, could I touch on John Hanson? Yeah, Hanson. Woo, bruh. You know what? I'm gonna say this in regards to Hanson. He may not consider me to be a Mason at all. He may consider me to be something else, a clandestine, whatever. But you know what? That's his opinion. And I respect that. And I leave it right there because I have my own opinion. My opinion of him is that he's a good guy. That's all I know. The only thing I know about him is his name. In fact, that he wrote a good book. And I bought his book and had him to sign it. That's all I know. I will not talk negative about him because I don't know him in that light. Neither would I call his lodge or wherever he's at bogus because I don't know him in that light. I don't. I won't do that to him. That's me. Now, he can say whatever you want to say about me, but I know who I am, so I will not do that to him. I just respect him as a person. I respect him as a Mason, and he wrote a good book. And I leave it at that. I'm a bit of a Greek nerd. Oh, okay. All right. Well, bruh, do it. Co-founder of Muslim was a. Oh yeah, the Mormons. Yeah. If you know anything about the Mormon, they incorporate a lot of Freemasonry into the religion into their religion construct. They do that. Whoa, that almost failed right there. There you go. That's a lot better right there. They put a lot of religion in a lot of Freemasonry into their religion construct. That's the truth, Ruth. Read about Joseph. Yeah, read about him. For real. Oh, was he supposed to found the Jehovah's Witness too? I know that one. I didn't even know that one. That's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Can't have it both ways. You're either African or Greek people. I like that. Mostly Greeks are white. Somebody can correct me. I don't mind. Somebody, hit me up, let me know, Hey, that's not necessarily right. But I'll tell you what, if Brother House is still on tonight, Brother House, I got some questions I want to ask you, but I want you online if you don't mind. So, Brother House, if you don't mind calling in, if you are still available, I don't know, I don't know where you're at right now, but if you're still available, I have some questions I want to ask you, and I don't want you keyboarding in. I want to hear your voice on it. Okay, that number to call us if you are available is 619-286-0642. If you are available to call in, I certainly would appreciate it. Thank you very much. 619-286-0642. That number is for Brother House tonight. So, we're going to move right on. And I'm going to say this here because the brother asked me what I think about John Hanson. You know what? First of all, John is a black man. Secondly, he's had whatever issues he's had in life. Secondly, I'm not here to tear him down. I'm here to build him up. That's it. I won't talk negative about him because I don't know him in that light. And I leave it at that. I respect him as a Mason, and I will consider him a brother wherever he may. If he needs me and call me and I can be of some assistance to him, I would do just that, regardless of what he may think. That's how it should be. That's how Mason should take it. If you're a Mason and you find yourself wherever, and that's how we do it. That's how I do it. That's how I was taught to do it. Now, some people may see it differently. Some may, but that's not how I was taught. So I won't do it. I won't do that. The two pillars, Jah King and Boaz. What do you know about them? You tell me what you know about them two pillars there, Savage. Because there's some things I'm not going to talk about really, in regards to Freemasonry on this here page. I'm not going to do it. I just kind of stay on the surface of things that people can actually go and read for themselves, to pick up a good book, kind of get an understanding of Freemasonry without all the hoopla, it's you're worshiping Satan and all that stuff. Freemasonry is not about that. It is not. Now, I ain't going to tell you that there's some crazy nuts out there. There are, and you may just run across a couple. They got the rain, they got and they'll tell you some of that old crazy stuff. But I'm talking about legitimate Freemasonry and what we do as far as in the confines of the Masonic lodges. I kind of stick with that on the surface, but I will not go in depth on those two pillars. I won't do it. You can look those up for yourself there, bro. Oh, that number again is 619-286-0642 is the number. Yep, that's it. That's the number. If you want to hit me up, that's the number you can call in. So I'm taking calls. I'll tell you this. I'm taking calls tonight. Brother House, if you're still on, great, call in. I'm just taking calls tonight. So the call-in number tonight, 619-286-0642. That's how we get down. Once again, welcome to the show, the most wishful John G. Jones, Research Lodge number 147. That's how we're going to do it tonight. I just want to greet everyone in this place to be, that I hope that wherever you're at and you're watching this, that you get something from it. I don't want to come on and don't leave you something. So if you're on tonight, boom, there you go. There you go. And to Brother Biggs from Kentucky, if you're watching tonight, I want to send you a big shout out. I'm keeping you in my prayers, brother. I don't know what you're going through in life right now, but whatever you're going through, you're in my prayers, brother. Trust and believe that. I'm keeping you in my prayers because, first of all, you are my brother. Period. Hello? Hey, Brother Montgomery, I'm finna put you on live, all right? All right, Brother Montgomery, talk to me. What's up?
All right, for the comment I made earlier about the 24-inch gauge.
Right.
On the Grand Lodge of Texas. I don't want to go too deep in it for anybody.
Deep. But till he comes back on. Okay.
We can allocate the step. Tell me when I get to
Lord.
The reason I say that is because here in the Grand Lodge of Texas, it's told to talk to I mean, I said it's pretty much measure and lay out your work. I didn't finish that whole part out.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you, you're absolutely on the right. Can we leave it at that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it at that because I'm telling you, I know that there are some eavesdroppers on here. I know that there are people who like to come on and pick up looks and try to talk to people who are Masons. But I would tell you this here. If you are a Mason and somebody can hook, wink, and bamboozle you just through watching YouTube, then you ain't on your craft. You're not being cautious to when you're talking to people that you're not really aware of, and because they may throw out and say that they're part of Prince Hall or they're part of Ancient Free and Accepted, whatever. You're not on your job when you allow people to bamboozle you through watching YouTube videos or picking up something from YouTube and they want to approach you with it. No. Mm-mm. There are things that we know as Masons, how we can identify truly if you're truly that what you say you are. Now, Brother Montgomery, now whether that person want to talk to me or not, that's on them. But there are things that we know, and it's across the board. You know, it's across the board. You got anything else you want to add, Brother Montgomery? Go for it.
Just also when you made touched on that comment about the York Rite, my worshipful master, he's Jewish, and he told me he was here. He can only go so far on the York Rite side because for certain reasons, because dealing with his faith, I'm not gonna go deep in that. I don't want to touch that for anybody who's an eavesdropper or a Calvin on your page listening right now.
That's why I was wanting Brother House to call in, because he can give him being Jewish.
It's just like my worshipful master told me, him being Jewish, he'd only focused on the Scottish Rite. If he was to go to your Rite, yes, he could join, but it's only so far he can get, because he said in that house you have to, of course, do you have to give a certain type of oath. It gets more religious on that side. That's what he broke it down to.
Oh wow, I got a message from one of my brothers. He said he went down the rabbit hole, and he should have called me. I don't know if he's online tonight or not, but brother, if you're online tonight when I hang up, give me a call so we can have this conversation, because so many of us sometimes get caught up in what we read and not really having somebody to break that down. I've said it before, and you need somebody who has been into Masonry a while, can break this thing down, because it deals in a lot of esoteric things that are happening within the fraternal order itself, and some people just not able to do it. They're just not able to do it.
Yeah, understandable.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
and that's hard, bruh.
Well, hey, that's why we as Masons, if anybody wants to be enlightened, that's why it's our job to enlighten them, to show them, hey, to correct them if they don't know, teach them.
It is true, but you know as well as I know, everybody ain't ready to be awakening. Everybody ain't ready to be touched.
That's true.
I was telling some friends of mine that even when you become a Christian, it is an initiation process, and they thought I lost my mind. What do you mean that when I become a Christian that it's an initiation process? It is truly an initiation process. Don't you drink the blood and eat the bread every first Sunday of the month? Don't you also come before the altar and confess? That's an initiation process. If you know anything about anything dealing with initiations of any sort, that is an initiation process. And don't you have classes that you go to? I know when I was young and went to Sunday school, and I went to youth Bible study and all those things. You're being indoctrinated. You're being initiated into that faith.
That is true.
You know, some people can say, oh, you're crazy. No, think about it. You have certain times of the year that you do certain things, right? As a Christian.
Yep.
You know, we remember Christ as he began to come into Jerusalem, and they were saying, Hosanna, Hosanna. We begin with the Easter celebration. How many of us go back and check that Easter celebration out? And what does Easter come from? And all of the orgies that was involved with that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But yeah, that's true. Go look it up. Go read about Easter. You know. And how did we get there? Bunny rabbits don't lay eggs. I'm just saying. You know, I don't want nobody to think that I'm just jumping on Christianity. I go to church on Sundays. I do. Like I said, I ain't mad at the messenger or the person who's bringing the word. I'm not. You know, it is for me to dissect that thing, to break it down for me. And a lot of people get caught up in it. There you go. I appreciate that, brother. Brother Terrell, you could have told me that. Did you hang up the phone?
No.
Oh, so
no, I'm still here. I'm just going to get off. I said what I had to say. I was about to end just after that. Go ahead and just get off the phone. But I had to clarify myself.
Oh, okay. Were you an altar boy? Were you an altar boy at one time?
No. I just grew up. My aunt was an OES, and I have some great uncles who Prince Hall in Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I grew up with it.
Okay. Oh, Goldsberger tell me he was an altar boy. Oh man, you was doing all kind of rituals. Man, they should have made a documentation called. They had they just said this thing about R. Kelly. They said surviving R. Kelly. They should have had something said surviving the priest. I'm just saying, it ain't personal. I'm just saying. Oh my God.
No comment. I'm not going to touch that with it.
I'm just saying, brother. I'm just saying. I appreciate you calling in, bro. Anytime. You're welcome to call into the show. I appreciate you.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, later. So if anybody else want to call into the show tonight, we're taking phone calls. 619-286-0642 is the call. Is the line that's open right now. So if you want to call in, you want to talk about the Royal Arch degree, that's fine. And talk about Masonry in general, we're open to it. And I think this is going to be great, man, because it's just some things that you find yourself in Freemasonry. This is why a lot of people say, you don't know, you ain't high enough. I've been told that so many times. You don't know. You're not high enough yet. Wait till you get way up there. And man, yeah. I understand why they say that. I understand truly why they say that. And there's truly some legitimacy to why they say that. It is. But unless you understand the format, what they're saying doesn't really matter. Does anyone feel that you should not be able to move up without understanding of the craft, so that you don't have brothers to lead the craft or to have a misunderstanding of what the craft is? Brother Walker, I agree with you 110%. I do. But this is what happens, Brother Walker. See, when you become a Master Mason, you're so excited. You want to meet other brothers. You want to travel. You want to do all the things that you've heard in Freeman. You want to do it. You want to, you're really gun-ho, and you go get these books, and you begin to read, and you have that moment where you be like, that moment, that sunken chair moment, and when you have that moment, you be like, wow. But you do need to talk to somebody to help you come out of that, because man, it can be draining on you. And the people in your fraternity, and the people in your fraternity, your lodge, they don't know why you're like that, because you got hold of information that has just completely warped your thinking and completely has twisted everything that you thought you knew. Because Mason would do that to you. Everything you thought you knew, if you really indulge yourself in Freemasonry, that's going to change. Period. It's going to change. So, Brother Morris, welcome aboard. Yo, you got that Scottish free, huh? Okay. Every brother and sister of the craft, thank you for having me here. Oh, no problem, Brother Leo. Welcome aboard. And to the sisters of the order, I don't want to leave you out tonight. Because you're going to go into the Harris of Jericho, am I right? You're going to do the Amaranths. You're going to do the Lady Knights of Templars, right? Depends on where you're at, huh? And then you're going to consider doing the Daughters of Sphinx, maybe the Daughters of Isis. And if you are a member of the Daughters of Isis, you should just completely understand why they call it Isis. You are all the people, including my Daughters of Sphinx. You should definitely indulge yourself in understanding the Sphinx. You know, because sometimes what happens is the sisters, you get excited too. You've gotten your 5 points. You getting ready to hit the slopes. You on it now. So they want to introduce you to the Herons of Jericho. They want to introduce you into what's the one after the Herons, before the Herons of Jericho? I want to Queen of Sheba. You know, they want to introduce you to that. They want to, you know, you want to get into these degree works. You also should take your time and understand the process of going through these things, and especially when you get to the Daughters of Sphinx and to the Daughters of Isis, that's deep. But what happens is we don't take the time to understand that which we're getting ready to get involved in, and then when we get there, you think you're in the playhouse. And I'm gonna do something on the Shriners. My next video is probably gonna be about the Shriners. And I'm going to simply say this here. The Shriners is not the playhouse of Freemasonry. It is one of the most serious houses that you can ever be part of. It is. But some of us think, oh, you know, I'm nasty. You know, you want a camel walk. That's all good. I will not take the fun out of the Shriners degree. But I'm saying is that there's some seriousness to it too. There is something that you should look at. Shriners, man, if you can break that thing down, I'm gonna have to get. Now, I go to the mosque, but there are some individuals that's probably watching tonight, like Brother Shaheed. Brother Shaheed, I gotta have you in the next show, bro. I gotta have you in the next show. Hello? Hey, Brother House, hold on just a second. Brother House, welcome aboard tonight. Oh, it's going now. I got you, bro. I got you, Brother House. I got to ask you. We finna have this conversation, Brother House. You got some things to explain to me.
Okay.
I need to know for myself, because I have brothers I've talked to of the Jewish faith. They will not go York Rite. And I need to kind of have an understanding of that.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But
the biggest thing is the York Rite, as you said early on, goes deep into the New Testament and Jesus. As a Orthodox Jewish man, we cannot accept a man or a savior as a redeemer of sin, because that then goes completely against what God said over and over and over and over again in the Torah and in the Tanakh, which Christians call the Old Testament, which was created by the Roman Catholic Church. But we can't do that, because God told Israel, the Jewish people, that God is our King. God is the only thing that can save you. And he said that no one at any given time can remove you from his hand. So it doesn't matter if this person named Jesus do anything. God said no one can remove you from his hand. So if you sinned, if you've done whatever, it is God that's going to determine your final judgment, and no one save you from that.
Well, I can agree to that. But however, you know as well as I know that okay, I'm gonna say it like this here. For those of us who are in the who are African Americans and we celebrate St. John's Day, we find ourselves at church celebrating St. John's Day, which is in its essence, I'm gonna put it out there, is that's not the way you get down. is not the way St. John's Day is supposed to be actually celebrated, from what I'm understanding and from what I'm reading now. Now, I've been a Mason 32 years, and I know when I first come in, St. John's Day is on Sunday, June and December, oh, I'm going. I had no clue to why I was going to St. John's Day, but it's something we just did. So we went to church. You know, all the brothers, all the sisters, all, you know, regaled out. But as I've gotten older, as I began to read and enlighten myself, I'm like, oh, this is all wrong. I can't go to my jurisdiction and say that. Right. You'd be like, what you? I'd be getting laughed out. They'd be like, no, Hawkins, no. We know that you went, we know that you go to the mosque. We know, but no, you ain't changing that.
Here's the thing, a Jewish man, a Orthodox Jewish man is forbidden to go into a Christian church. So
really?
A Jewish man is not going to go to St. John's Day at a church. It's not going to happen because a church is deemed a place of idol worship in Judaism, because the church is erected to Jesus Christ, whom they worship. And in Judaism, that is a form of idol worship. But a Jew can go to a mosque at any time because the Muslim brothers are not idol worship. So we can go and physically pray and everything in a mosque, but we cannot go into a church.
Oh, woo wee. Woo. That's, ooh, man, I don't know how many people gonna take that right. I don't know, but that's, ooh wee. I had no needed you to call. You see there? You got me like, that's why I needed you to call, bro, because I have talked with brothers who they are Jewish Masonic lodges.
Yeah.
And I try to tell people that, and they think I'm grabbing. No. That's a Jewish Masonic lodge. There's nothing but Jews in there, you know, and that's their thing.
It's many in New York.
Really?
Yeah.
See, and people thought I was losing my mind when I said that.
Oh no, you definitely you tell the truth. You know about it.
And here's the thing, we've heard a lot of conspiracy theories in regards to Freemasonry, you know, but I like to say this to a lot of people, because Masons have jobs in various parts of the government.
Yeah.
And so therefore, when you find one that's involved with a top secret or maybe involved in high level position in government, then the conspiracy theorists then say, see that I told you they're trying to, this new world order, they're, the whole thing.
But see, that's just pure ignorance on their part, because Masonry as an organization, you cannot look at it as something that's evil or something that's good. It is a tool. It's a system of allegories. Well, we know that. That's like saying the car that I drive is good or evil. The car itself is a tool. I can use that car to run people down and kill them, or I can use that car to take a woman to the hospital to deliver a child.
Mm-hmm.
The car itself cannot be looked at as evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tool for the person that's using it and their intention.
Okay.
So a person that's in Masonry, if their intention is evil, then what they're doing themselves as individuals is evil.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot say that's Masonry that's evil. And then when you look at the individuals that in the government, 9 times out of 10, they were in the government before they became a Mason.
Yeah.
And because now that they carry the title as a Master Mason or whatnot, people want to then, like you said, say, oh, well, see, this proves that Mason is evil. Well, no, because if you look at probably 1%, well, half of a 1% that's not in the government that's doing the work of saints. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just foolish to jump on board with some type of conspiracy theory such as that. That's crazy.
Well, but you know as well as I know, you get that, man. I've had people to tell me you ain't high enough yet. That's why you don't know. But when you get there, they're going to be doing some sacrifices.
What degree they talk about? The
I,
550th?
yeah, hey, bro, I couldn't tell you, but I would say that it's high enough yet. So you don't even know. I'll be like, wow, where did you get it from? But now I have a better understanding of why they say that.
Yeah, that's the false thing. I mean, you should tell them, hey, I'm a 375th degree Mason, and they'll still say you're not high enough. So, I mean, that's the excuse when they have hit a wall and they cannot their side of the story or why they believe something is conspiracy and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Half of the time when they talk about somebody is this or that, half of those people they claim did this or that ain't even Mason. Most of them, they look at it, oh, see, he's stolen bones, so that makes him a Mason. Mason and stolen bones are not even the same.
Mm.
So it's like, y'all haven't even researched. There's organizations
Mm-hmm.
on the campus of Yale University that's 10 times worse and more secretive than stolen bones that no one talks about.
Wait a minute. Come back. Now, you saying that there's another fraternal order on the campus of Yale that is more secretive than the Skulls and Bones.
It's several. And that's why you don't hear about it.
Oh,
You hear about stolen bones, but no one talks about the orders on the Yale campus that's got the snakes entwined as the actual gate around the building.
wow.
Yale University has got some stuff in there that there's other universities that's even got one. Speaking of, like, I live in the state of Alabama, and most people don't even know of the secret organization on the University of Alabama campus called the Machine. The Machine is considered one of the strongest secret fraternities in the country.
Wow.
But people don't hear about that.
Mm.
So it's once again, once somebody comes up with something and run with it, people jump on the bandwagon and they regurgitate foolishness and they don't actually do any type of research themselves. They just go to whatever sounds good to the ear, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just kind of have to, brush their ignorance off and keep it moving. I mean, and what's sad is our black fashion of Masonry that's really bad because they don't do the research to find out what Masonry originally came into existence.
Wait a minute. You need to back up and say that again now.
Our black brothers and sisters,
Right.
when they join the order, they don't do their own research to find out where Masonry really originated at.
Man, you're about to make me leave this show.
And that's the biggest problem. Everybody want to talk about 1717, and then they talk about a letter that was written back in the 1300s. I'm like, if you do the simple research, you will find out that Masonry goes back thousands of years ago. You can go all the way back to ancient Sumer, and you can go all the way back to ancient Kemet or Chem, where we get the word chemistry and alchemy.
Mm.
This stuff is still on walls, still carved in stone. The degrees are there, the regalia is there, the aprons is there, the one step on the upright is there. All of it is there to be seen for the whole world to see. We know Pythagoras went to Egypt to learn geometry.
Yes.
We know this stuff. This is history. It's written down. It's carved. Masonry came from us. Period.
Okay, now, Brother House, in saying exactly what you just said, the hardest thing to do is to take lead on that, because some of it giving up having other people to say whether we are right. How I want to say this. Shit, excuse my language. I'm trying to say it in a decent way. Some of us have not yet grasped the fact of who we are. I think that'll work. Some of us don't know who we are, so therefore we can't tell anybody about it, because somebody's already told us who we are without us even doing our own research.
And that's a problem. That's a problem, because we too often run to them for types of verification, and we won't run to our own people. And because we take it on this thought that they are right and we're wrong, and if anything, they have to back up what we say before we accept it as true. But we can look at the Discovery Channel and see all the black faces all over the wall of Egypt. Look at the Discovery Channel and see all the black, quote unquote, nappy-haired men and bearded men in Sumer.
But do you think that some of us have been so Americanized that we're not able to come out of the sunken chair?
100%. And to be honest with you, and I have absolutely nothing against my Christian brothers, but we have been too Christianized. And when you are handed a Bible and every image in that Bible is a white man, every image in that Bible of an angel is a white angel, the first thing you're going to do by default is look at them as the rightful and the truth. That's the biggest problem. But if people actually did the research, they would find out that the Bible was not written until 400 BCE by King Philippus of Greece, that was occupying Egypt at the time, that forcibly had 70 elders from the Jewish faith. With the history of, they basically sold out for their freedom of the Jewish Bible, so they can write it in how we get the Septuagint LXX.
Man, now I know why you can't go your right. Oh, now I can say that. I know why you can't go that route. Now, here's what I said. I never said you never read up on it. I just said I know why you can't go that route.
Yeah.
I never said you hadn't read it. I just said I know why you can't go that route. And that's very interesting. It makes me want to go read more in regards to the Jewish faith and how that plays into Freemasonry, because, like I said before, most of the brothers I've spoken to, and you just confirmed it, they become Masons, but they go to Scottish Rite side.
Yes. And believe it or not, do the shrine with no problem. Because once again, the Muslim brothers is idol worship. Being idol worship whatsoever. So when you do the history of Ishmael and Isaac, you understand they obviously both came from Abraham. And they all, both sides of the coin, know the one true God. Allah just means God in Arabic. We know that Yahweh, Elohim, El, or yes, is the same God in Judaism and Hebrew.
Right.
So we've Scottish Rite and we can do the shrine no problem. But when you get into the York Rite and you start going into, especially once you go beyond cryptic masonry, when you start going into the Knights Templar, you have to, you know what you have to do for the Knights Templar.
I'm going to tell you this. Now, I found this out after I had became a member of the Knights of Templars. And there was a creed, and there was a creed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it was out, you know, it was during the process, but I was in the moment, okay, and I'm like, okay, this is why I say all the time, it's best to go back and read some of the stuff what you just said.
You better.
You know, because because people say things, and because of the moment, they're excited about it
Yep.
without going back and reading. What did I just say? Did I really say that? You said that.
People
No,
gotta pay attention to what they're saying.
yeah, nobody forced you to say these things. You said it. But the ideal is some. Say what now, Brother House?
I said your own free will and accord.
Yes, but what I find is that some people are so excited about receiving the degrees to they don't know what they've just done or what they've just said. And a lot of times, most after the initiation, most people never tell them to go back and read it. Here's your ritual, here's your book. Great to have your board. Now you're a certain Knights of Templars. Blue, blue, blue. Oh, great. But go back and read it.
Yeah.
Because when I did, and I started traveling down that rabbit hole, I was like, holy smack. You know, it was one of them eureka moments like, did I say that? Did I? And I started looking and reading, and it made me think.
So what you have to do is ask yourself, I've done that, and you have become a Knight Templar. Can you actually be a Shriver?
You know what?
Oh boy.
Now, do you really want me to answer that question?
I already know that. you
That's
want to let the brothers and sisters that watch it.
This is why it's important, once again, to everybody, go back and read your stuff, because once I got done and I was reading, and I was like, I began to question a lot of stuff. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. But I also understood one, what we consider Knights Templars were not necessarily. How did that brother break that down? He called them French Knights. Dang it, I gotta talk to
the poor Knights of Christ.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, the biggest thing is, a lot of things in Masonry, for the most part, is not. For the most history on Masonry, you can play from the history. That's not going to give you any type of passwords and all this good stuff. So we hold. If they simply just did, they would have enough information to make a educated and
Absolutely.
doing their own due diligence, and they're jumping into something and they saying something and not realizing what they're saying, and that's the biggest problem.
Brother, I'm gonna say this. There's a brother who was asking something. Christian B. So you can revisit that, because I went real. I was a little person that came up. So it made me go and do some research and do some extra reading, and I was like, okay, I gotta do this.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like I said, we just have a lot of brothers and sisters that I'm happy that they joined the order. They haven't done the necessary research on the order and the roads in which they travel to understand what they're doing and about to embark on, because some things might be a conflict of interest. And
A lot of things are conflict of interest if you if you really indulge yourself in it.
yeah, it is. it's one of those things, like you said, you know, the rabbit hole is extremely deep. It's extremely deep, and it's not for everybody. And I would go as far as saying that a lot of people are better off, and this is just my opinion. A lot of people are better off saying just the third degree,
Mm-hmm.
and learning and meditating on as much as they can on the working tools within the first 3 degrees.
Right.
And that's probably be the best thing for them. You
Mm-hmm.
know, because when you start embarking on other stuff and moving up degrees and stuff like that, you know, it may be a little something that you're not ready for.
So you just chase degrees. I've heard people, oh, he's just chasing a degree, you know.
Oh yeah. I think a lot of, you know, and it's unfortunate. My father, he's a 33rd degree. My great uncle, he's 33rd degree. I've inherited a lot of stuff passed down from them, and things are not the same as it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. A lot of people these days are taking degrees just to say, hey, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a SIG, and I'm
And see, and it's funny you say that, because I had a video that I did, and I said this is for the newly Grand Inspector Generals, because what I'm finding is that me being a 33rd, and I go to talk to brothers when I know that they are an illustrious peer, and they can't even have the conversation.
they can't talk to you about it. They don't know it.
And I'm like, hold on, you got the ring on. And I go to talk in the Q, and I'm like, bruh, oh, you one of them. You just paid that $5 grand, $2 grand, $3 grand, whatever it costs, you paid it.
That's it. They just wanted the hat.
But see, that hurts in my opinion, that hurts the craft.
It does, because you know as well as I know what that position entails. And if you look at the state of masonry across the board, that tells you that there's a lot of guys that's in a position that's not doing their job.
Oh, what you talking about? Oh my goodness, what you talking about? Man, go ahead.
I just say they just like, you know, it's too many people. I tell you right now, it's people that I know for a fact walking around that's got so many degrees, and they straight out and as much light as possible. They shine more light than the sun, but if they tried to gain interest in my lodge, they wouldn't be able to get in.
He said they got more light on than the sun. Yes, I will agree. I will agree.
And that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
You got these people over these bodies, and you try to talk to them and just try to have a good talk to them. I mean, you at the pinnacle, you at the top. You know, can you break this down? Can you give me this or that? And they give you tap water.
Let me tell you,
That's bad.
I'm gonna say this here, and this is gonna probably be a good video for me to do. Also, I had an individual who was in my temple as a shriner. Right, he wanted to cross the burning sands as a shriner, and hell, he didn't even get to the sands and quit. I mean, I'm gonna say this here. I'm going to say this. It had nothing to do with hazing at all, and that's on me. There was no hazing involved. He just couldn't deal with it. And I was like, you said you was in the army and you gone to like done 2 tours, and you can't complete. We only did 8. Now, according to my ritual, as a shrine, and we have 18 Muslim tasks that we could do. We was only doing 10 of the 18, only 10. You know, of course you do the small stuff. Okay, so you stopped by the well of Zim. Okay, so you stopped at the well and wall. You did the small stuff, but you couldn't handle when it got time to do the thing. You folded. I mean, he literally folded, bro.
Okay. Everybody's not as mentally strong as they think they are. And just because somebody said they did the military and this and that, and that don't speak of it. I'm a retired deputy sheriff in Alabama, and we've had many so-called Marines, Army guys, blah, 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 that get in a shootout and sit there and pee on themselves.
Wow.
So that military don't mean nothing.
Wow.
I'm telling you right now, I've been in shootouts myself and had to go and drag people away to save them because they froze. And these are the people that then supposedly went over here and did this and Afghanistan and all this. I'm like, but you can't sit here and stand with these thugs on the street shooting them. No. So everybody, it's a mental thing. If your mind cannot go there, your body cannot follow.
That's true.
So that's a lot of stuff in masonry. We've had people that didn't make it to the third degree because of these stuff. You know, and no, it ain't got nothing to do with hazing whatsoever. Because in my state, we have a 100% strict policy against hazing.
Right.
In fact, we actually have it on the book and for the state law. In Alabama, it's against the law. Like, you will go to jail if you haze in Alabama. So it ain't got nothing to do with hazing here. But if you're not mentally prepared to do certain things, you're just not going to make it through. And that's okay, because, you know, masonry is not for everybody. You know, and that's why I say, you know, if people are, you know, good enough to make it to the third degree is maybe the farthest you need to go.
Now, you know, you heard some people feeling with that, right? Yeah.
You know, what they say, a tennis ear receives it from a...
For real. That's for real. So look, hey, Brother House, I want to thank you for calling in, man. And that knowledge you just dropped, I appreciate that, because I just never heard it put down that way. And now even I have a better understanding of my Jewish brothers and why certain things go a certain way, because it was never explained that way to me. And especially now that I go to the mosque, I can kind of look at things in a complete circle now, because I only had half of it. You know, only had half of it. And I'm going to tell you this here. I'm going to say this publicly. Now, even for me, even before I had this information that you just shared with me, when I would go to church, it would be like going to even now, it's like going just to go, because it's something I've done for so long. It's just when Sunday come along, I just go to church. Now, sometimes the message that is being taught or even being preached, it's interesting, but it has no meat. And when I say it has no meat, the people who bring those words from the Bible, it doesn't have life.
Understandable.
And I think that anytime that you are in position of leadership, regardless of what it is, your words should have life. Your teaching should have life.
It's called the living word.
That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna let it be where it's at. So look, I appreciate you coming on and breaking down some stuff to us tonight. And anytime, brother, anytime you want to call in, just text me, call me, let me know, hey, look, I'm on tonight. I got some time. And you being in Alabama now, the summer is getting ready to come up. So I'm going to start my traveling off, because I'm right in Mississippi. That's my home.
Okay.
So my traveling will be coming up starting in June. I'm gonna hit the road, and I think I'm gonna say June, July. With June, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off. July, I'm taking 3 weeks off. So I'm gonna be down that way. I'm gonna be on what they call the Gulf Coast or the coast of Mississippi down there. I'm gonna be hitting it for a minute. So who
Okay.
knows? Who knows?
Well, we might have to sit down.
Yeah, we may have to sit down and have. I don't know if you like to partake, but we may have to sit down.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right, brother. I appreciate you calling in. And to everybody who came on the show tonight, I appreciate your call-ins. I appreciate you watching. So please, whatever you do, tell somebody about us. Hit the like button. We're gonna take this thing to a whole new level this year. I'm working on how I can actually have somebody to actually be able to be on the screen at the same time I'm on. I think that would be great to do. So it's some things I'm working on, and we're gonna make some things happen. The brother says the Zim is real holy water located in Mecca. Everything the Shriners do has something to do with with the real life. Oh yeah, oh, it does. But brother Shaheed, as me and brother House was talking, how many people are able to bring those two together? It wasn't no easy task for me, but I'm just saying a lot of people are not able to bring together, and this is why I'm giving some real thought about doing a part two. And this time the video is, can a Christian be a Shriner? I don't know if I called it that the last time or not, but that's maybe a part two. Can a Christian be a Shriner after he has become a Knights Templar? That may be something interesting. So look, until next time, I appreciate everybody for coming on tonight. And please pass the videos along. If it's something I can add to, I'm open for it. If you want to call in, you can do that too. It doesn't matter your jurisdiction. Let me say that again. This format is for brothers and sisters. You know, it is not about your jurisdiction here. Growth is about really enlightening individuals on Freemasonry. We're not trying to give away secrets. We just want to discuss Freemasonry. We want to discuss in such a way that everybody who's on point, be it a Mason or Eastern Star, you're going to get something from the show. So until I see you, until we greet each other, as always, be safe, and definitely, whatever you do in 2019, stay out the bushes. And Brother Keith, please, whatever you do, give me a call in about 3 minutes. I appreciate it. Until we see each other, be well. If I can get off. Oh, there you go.